Welcome back to iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. We are diving straight into another 1 versus 1 duel, this time from the perspective of the Nobushi. She's a very powerful character, but we're going up against arguably someone who's even stronger, that is the Warden. So let's see if we can make some magic happen here today. Round 1 is about to begin. It's interesting, the Warden's Vortex is a very powerful tool, but it's a close-range tool, and the Nobushi is a much longer-range character, and she has the speed to be able to stop that shoulder bash while it's starting up. So if we can capitalize on that, we'll come out on top, and so far we get a neutral guard break and follow that up with a top-heavy attack. The Warden going to throw out a zone, and I'm not going to be able to react quick enough to block it, landing another successful guard break and a top-heavy, trying to follow it up with a kick, but the Warden going to swiftly dodge out of the way, and he's gassed me out of stamina, landing a guard break but not going to knock me to the ground. We have evened up in the health department, so I'm gonna have to be a lot more careful with my moves. Clearly this guy is not asleep at the wheel, he just missed a couple of guard break counter attempts, and that shoulder bash clipped me on the side just a little bit. He almost landed that fully charged bash, and that would have been very detrimental. Getting knocked down to the floor, he throws out the top heavy but a little bit slow on the draw, so I'm gonna be able to block it. Whew, that was a big ramp up, and the zone attack gonna come out again, putting me in a very low point of health, and another zone attack. That is 3 times in a row. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, what the fuck are you doing? So that is the first round going to the Warden. We're gonna have to really watch out for that if we're going to make any sort of headway, especially in the lower health percentages. So round 2 is about to begin. But yeah, man, every character that has a fast zone attack, the Warden, the Peacekeeper, Orochi, they love to finish people off with that thing. It's difficult to anticipate. We're seeing the range come into play a little bit. The Warden charging up his shoulder bash and using Viper's Retreat to punish it, getting that bleed ticking off, successfully landing a kick and following it up with more guaranteed damage. This might be a slow but very effective way to beat this guy. Just whittle him down from a distance and punish him as he comes in. He's going to parry the second hit of my zone attack, but fortunately for me, I was well outside of his range, so he's not going to be able to capitalize on it with a guard break, but now he's capitalizing on those shoulder bashes, putting some serious damage on me. Missing parries on my end is going to put me on my back. And now I am at a critical point in health. My opponent out of stamina, but not really going to be able to do too much with it. The Nobushi struggles at moving forward to really punish characters when they don't have any stamina. So I'm going to fall prey to the shoulder bash and a single light attack. Ugh, this is looking a little bit rough. If we're going to make a comeback, we've got to do something big for the next 3 rounds. It's always interesting, though, to debate the power of the different characters, and from what I've read, the Nobushi is not considered to be one of the top 5, but she has the potential to deal a significant amount of burst damage, landing a successful guard break from the neutral position, but I am going to follow it up with a kick, and that is going to be my demise. Getting knocked to the ground by the Warden means serious punishment, but thankfully for me, he's run out of stamina, trying to be a little bit too aggressive, landing a successful guard break, and now is my chance to retaliate. He's fallen to the ground, getting a sweet, sweet combination, putting him into what I would like to call the danger zone. I had lethal damage there. I could have followed up that guard break with a top heavy, but I opted out. But there we go. It's not going to matter in the end. I'm taking back a round. Let's see if I can do that 2 more times. It's all about momentum with the Nobushi. If she can get a good rhythm going, if she can throw you off with her movements, she can really do a big burst of damage in a very short time. So round 4, let's try and make that magic happen. You already know what the deal is. We gotta get some fairy dust and sprinkle it out here. Gonna start off with a hidden stance. The Warden gonna dodge out of the way, trying to get a shoulder bash, and he will get punished as a result. Using those side dash heavies as an offensive tool, they can be a little bit confusing. You dodge left, you attack right, and vice versa. But now I'm out of stamina. The Warden not gonna be able to capitalize on that. I just need one more guard break into a heavy, and it's very clear that that's what I want to do. My opponent not going to let that happen. He's going to charge up his shield bash to full, landing a successful guard break, knocking me to the ground, but his timing and spacing must have been a little bit off there. He's not going to be able to finish me off with a top-heavy attack. We're both in a very dangerous position. Going to use hidden stance to dodge out of the way of the zone attack. There's a little bit of prediction involved with that, but I've already experienced this guy's zone attack. He likes that move. He favors it very heavily, especially as my health starts to get lower, so I can prepare myself for it adequately and be a little bit more flashy than I need to be, but still it gets the job done nonetheless. Now a shoulder bash going to come out. This one is going to connect. The Warden could have used a double light, but he's probably feeling the pressure just as much as I am. The zone attack going to come out again. But I'm going to block it this time, follow it up with a guaranteed guard break and a heavy attack and execution finish. So we're moving into now the 5th and final round. If I can take this one, it'll be an epic comeback. So let's start up that music. Boom. So the epic music, I know it makes this way more dramatic than it needs to be. This isn't a tournament. We're just two guys that queued up and wanted to have a good time. But damn it, we're taking it seriously. He doesn't want to lose, and I obviously don't want to lose either. The Warden going to successfully land his shoulder bash, but I'm not going to allow him to continue his chain without punishment. Nobushi's hidden stance is a very versatile ability. It's great for feinting, it's great for playing mind games, but those mind games aren't going to get me anywhere while I have no stamina. I'm going to take the full punishment from the Warden's top heavy attack, and it looks like things might be over, but no, he's going to gas himself out of stamina, getting a bit too greedy, and now it is time for my relentless assault. My goodness, we're back on an even footing. His dodge is going to put him back on his back, but unfortunately, I followed up with the wrong moves. I went for the Cobra Strike mix-up when all I needed to do was land a heavy attack. I'm no doubt feeling the frustration from that, and a guard break is going to get punished by the Warden's top light attack, and that will end off the match. But damn it, we put up a good fight, and you know what? You can't win them all. So we're going to show off one more match, another Nobushi versus Warden. It is a different player this time, so we're going to have to adjust to a slightly different play style, right? He has the same skill sets as the guy before him, but he likes to manipulate it in a different way. Now, that is even more true when going against the Nobushi. She has a much longer list of skills than the Warden. But that's enough of talking about the skills and the theory. Let's talk about the action that is about to kick off in round 1. We're seeing a little bit of feinting. You might think we're playing the Kensei, but no, the Kensei has a big-ass sword. The Nobushi has a long-ass spear. So far, though, that range is proving to be advantageous. Unfortunately, though, the Warden going to try and close in with that shoulder bash, not going to do so successfully. Even though he hasn't managed to connect with a single shoulder bash as of yet, he has landed a little bit of punishment via the top light attack. He's going to land another parry on me. This is the second one of the game, and he's following them up with top light attacks, which is a smart maneuver. The first parry that he landed was on a Viper's Retreat, which he most likely could have gotten a successful heavy attack on, but sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. You can just get that guaranteed light without having to think in your mind, did I just parry a light attack? Can I follow up with a heavy? Who knows? It's a bit confusing, but he is on that last segment of health, and we just saw another hidden stance to avoid the Warden's zone attack. So again, a little bit of prediction. Could have just blocked it, but sometimes you got to go for the fanciest victory possible. Round 1 is going to go to us. Let's see if we can make that happen in the following rounds. But to touch on the theory a little bit more that we were talking about at the beginning, the Nobushi, she's a very powerful character because she has so many skills and the ability to constantly change her patterns and keep people always guessing about what her motives are going to be. That gives her a tremendous advantage. Using a lot of Viper's Retreat at the beginning, it is working for the most part, getting that bleed ticked off. The Warden going to try and throw out a zone attack, but the Viper's Retreat going to come out a little bit faster. And finally, my light attack was not a Viper's Retreat this time. It was feinted via hidden stance, and then it punished him severely. And now it's in the bag. This round is going to go to us. The mind games were very strong in our favor, and that is going to give us the victory. Before we move on to the next round, I just want you guys to understand that this guy is not a pushover. A lot of times playing as the Nobushi, it can seem like your opponent isn't very good when you're winning, but this guy knows what he's doing. He's whooping my ass pretty good, isn't he? He is. So let's get back into the original fight and see if we can take this in a clean 3-0 victory. Round 3 is about to begin. We're going to see if we can continue using some of the mind games that we were using in the previous round. I'm doing a little bit of typing up top, but the action must continue. This is no time for idle chit-chat. This is time for violence. Going into a hidden stance, following up with a single light attack. I could have gotten 2, maybe trying to conserve stamina, maybe wasn't expecting that attack to hit, but the Warden expecting those shoulder bashes to work, and he's getting me caught with the mix-up, throwing me into a wall, landing a top heavy as a result, parrying and chaining right back into that vortex. I'm going to roll out of the way. Rolling is the only way to guarantee escape from the vortex. It looks like, though, greed has overcome my opponent, and that final feinted top heavy put him in the out of stamina state, and a little bit of greed put me out of stamina as well. And I'm going to send out a bow, sort of acknowledging that we both kind of fucked up a little bit. So now we're going to jump right back into the action. If I can land one more good attack, I will finish him off. Unfortunately, though, my opponent not ready to throw in the towel just yet. Going to hidden stance out of the way of the shoulder bash and then punish him with a light attack. So there you go, folks. These have been duels from the perspective of the Nobushi. She is a very powerful character with the highest skill ceiling in the game. I'm going to go ahead and say that as a definitive fact. She has so many different tools under her belt and so many different ways to utilize all of them. There were even a few that we didn't see in this particular matchup. So, as always, the name of the game is For Honor. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.